Only 1 in 3 people make it past 85. And no, it's not just bad luck or family history. It's the daily habits we ignore. Want to be among those who live longer, stronger, and with dignity? What I'm about to share might just add years to your life. And sir/ma, don't ignore the subscribe button. Kindly subscribe so you never miss a chance to live better after 60. Stay tuned because, by the end of this video, you'll know the 5 silent habits that are cutting thousands of seniors' lives short and how to replace each one with simple, life-extending changes you can start today. And I'll reveal one overlooked daily ritual used by the world's longest-living seniors that most people over 60 have never even heard of. Stick with me, it might just be the most important video you watch this year. Warning, deadly habit number 1, sitting too much. Let's talk about something millions of seniors do every single day without thinking twice, sitting too much. And no, it's not harmless. Most people think, I'm just resting. I deserve it. But here's the truth, sitting for long hours is silently aging your body and shortening your life. When you sit for most of the day, your muscles weaken, especially in your legs and hips. Your blood flow slows down, raising your risk of clots, stroke, and even heart attacks. And your brain doesn't get the stimulation it needs, which can speed up memory loss and dementia. Still think it's just taking it easy? Here's a sobering fact. Your body starts losing strength after just 1 hour of uninterrupted sitting. And if that becomes your daily routine, you're on a fast track to mobility issues, balance problems, and falls, the #1 cause of injury-related deaths in seniors. Now, I'm not saying you should never sit. Of course you need to rest. But the danger comes from how long you sit and how little you move between those moments. You don't have to join a gym or run a marathon. In fact, just standing up and moving around for 5 minutes every 30 to 60 minutes can reset your circulation, boost your energy, and help your brain stay sharp. You can march in place while brushing your teeth. Stand up during commercials or phone calls. Do gentle knee lifts at the kitchen counter. Take short walks inside your home, even just around the living room. These small movements may seem minor, but over time, they do something powerful. They keep your independence. I knew a gentleman named Edward. He was 74 when he retired. He loved his TV shows and had his favorite chair. But within 2 years, he needed a cane, then a walker, and soon he could barely stand on his own. The saddest part? It wasn't disease. It wasn't age. It was decline from sitting all day, every day. Contrast that with Doris, 78. She's not into workouts, but every hour, she gets up. She stretches, walks around her apartment, even dances to music. And guess what? No cane. No help. Still gardening, cooking, and laughing with her grandkids. Because she made movement a daily non-negotiable. This isn't about fitness. This is about freedom. If you're sitting for more than 7 to 8 hours a day, it's time to rethink your routine. Break it up. Move your body. Because movement is life, and the less you move, the faster you lose it. Speech balloon. Now I want to hear from you. How many hours a day do you think you sit, honestly? And what's one small movement habit you can commit to starting today? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. Warning, deadly habit number 2, skipping strength exercises. Let's get real about something most seniors avoid, but can't afford to ignore. Muscle loss. After 60, your body naturally starts losing muscle, 3 to 5% every decade. And if you don't do something about it, it doesn't just affect how you look. It affects whether you can get up off the toilet, carry groceries, or catch yourself when you trip. Here's what skipping strength work really leads to. False. The #1 cause of injuries in people over 65. Fractures. A broken hip can be the beginning of the end for many. Loss of independence. Needing help with basic tasks chips away at your freedom. And no, walking alone isn't enough. Walking is great for your heart and lungs, but it doesn't build muscle the way resistance training does. The problem? Most people hear strength training and picture barbells, fancy machines, or a gym full of sweaty people. But that's not what we're talking about here. Your body is already the best gym you've got. If you can sit and stand from a chair, you can squat. If you can push away from a wall, you can do wall push-ups. If you can lift a bag of rice or a gallon of water, You can strengthen your arms. It takes just 10 minutes a day, a few times a week, to signal to your body, hey, I still need these muscles, don't let them go. Let me give you a quick picture. There's a man named Charles, 81. He lives alone, makes his own meals, and even volunteers at a local clinic. When asked what keeps him going, he didn't say vitamins or luck. He said this, I never stopped moving and I never stopped lifting something, even if it was just my own body. You see, your muscles are like your savings account. The more you invest, the more you have to spend later on movement, freedom, and quality of life. On the flip side, skipping strength training is like making daily withdrawals. Until one day your body says, that's it, you're overdrawn. You don't need perfect form. You don't need a trainer. You don't need expensive equipment. You just need a bit of consistency and the courage to start. Try this. Stand up and sit down from a sturdy chair 10 times in a row. Do gentle arm curls with a soup can or water bottle. Push against the wall 15 times. Repeat every other day. That's it. And before you say, it's too late for me, let me remind you, muscle responds at any age. There are 90-year-olds building strength. There are 70-year-olds reversing decades of decline. And you're not done yet. Speech balloon, tell me in the comments, when was the last time you did a strength exercise? And what's one movement you can start doing again today, even if it's just standing from your chair? I'd love to hear your story. Warning, deadly habit number 3, ignoring sleep quality. Let's talk about one of the most underestimated dangers for people over 60, poor sleep. Too many seniors brush it off. I'm just getting older. I'll nap later. I've learned to live with it. But the truth is, sleep isn't optional, and it's not just rest. It's repair. While you sleep, your body is hard at work, healing damaged cells, balancing hormones, cleansing your brain of toxins, regenerating heart tissue, blood vessels, and even your immune system. When sleep suffers, everything suffers. And here's the scary part. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired. It raises your risk of heart attack and stroke, type 2 diabetes, memory loss and Alzheimer's, depression, irritability, and isolation, shortened lifespan. Think about that. One bad night here and there? Not a big deal. But months or years of restless sleep? That slowly chips away at your brain, your body, and your willpower. Here's something most people over 60 don't know. Your body's sleep rhythm changes with age. You produce less melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's bedtime. You're also more sensitive to disruptions, light, noise, temperature, even late-day caffeine. That's why seniors often struggle to fall asleep, stay asleep, or wake up feeling refreshed. But that doesn't mean you're doomed to live in a fog. You can fix it, and it doesn't require sleeping pills. Here are 3 simple changes that can transform your nights. 1. Create a wind-down routine. 30 minutes before bed, turn off bright lights, shut off screens, and do something relaxing. Try light stretching, a warm shower, soft music, or gentle reading. 2. Protect your sleep window. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even weekends. This trains your body to follow a consistent rhythm and makes falling asleep easier over time. 3. Cut off stimulants. No caffeine after 2 p.m. And avoid alcohol close to bedtime. It may make you sleepy, but it disrupts deep sleep later in the night. Now, let me tell you about Linda, 73. She used to wake up 5 times a night. Felt groggy every morning. She thought it was just old age. But all she did was start dimming her lights after dinner, switched her evening TV for a puzzle, and stopped coffee after lunchtime. Within a week, she was sleeping 6 to 7 hours straight. And for the first time in years, she said, I felt like myself again. That's what quality sleep gives you. Clarity, calm, energy, and protection. When you prioritize sleep, everything else becomes easier. Your mood, your memory, even your motivation to move and eat better. So if you've been pushing sleep to the bottom of your health list, it's time to move it to the top. Because bad sleep isn't just a bad night, it's a risk to your life. Speech balloon, now it's your turn. What's one thing that keeps you up at night? Or one change you can make today to sleep better? Leave a comment. I'd love to hear your sleep story, and you might just help someone else too. Warning: deadly habit number 4. Eating for convenience, not longevity. Now let's talk about a habit that feels harmless, but could be quietly taking years off your life. Eating for convenience instead of longevity. In other words, grabbing what's fast, easy, or prepackaged, instead of what fuels your body for the long haul. You might think, I'm too old to change how I eat, or I don't have the energy to cook like I used to. But here's the truth. Heavily processed foods are loaded with preservatives, excess salt, sugars, and harmful fats. And every bite you take either feeds your health or feeds disease. Studies show that diets high in ultra-processed food increase your risk of chronic inflammation, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, cognitive decline and memory loss, even some cancers. What's worse? These foods are engineered to keep you reaching for more chips, more soda, more frozen dinners. They numb your taste buds and rob your cells of the nutrients they desperately need. But here's the good news. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start making better swaps. Instead of sugary breakfast cereal, try plain oats with fruit. Instead of salty canned soup, simmer some lentils with herbs. Instead of white bread and margarine, go for whole grain toast with avocado or nut butter. Tiny changes like these reduce inflammation, stabilize your blood sugar, and keep your heart and brain healthier. And if you're thinking, but healthy eating is expensive, consider this. A single hospitalization from diabetes or stroke costs far more than a few bags of beans and vegetables ever will. Investing in your food is investing in your future. Now let me share a quick story. Richard, 69, used to live on microwave meals and soda. He didn't think it mattered. He wasn't overweight and he felt fine. Until his blood pressure spiked and his doctor warned him, "One more stroke like this and you may not walk again." That was his wake-up call. He made one change, swapped out takeout 3 nights a week for simple home-cooked stir-fries. 6 months later, he lost weight, stabilized his blood sugar, and said he hadn't felt this clear-headed in years. You don't need a fancy diet. You don't need supplements or a meal delivery service. Just real food, made with simple ingredients, eaten with intention. Your body is still listening, and it's never too late to feed it better. Because the truth is, every meal is a chance to heal, or a chance to harm. And at your stage in life, food isn't just fuel, it's medicine, or it's poison. Speech balloon. Now I want to hear from you. What's one processed food you're ready to give up, or one healthy swap you've already made that's working for you? Drop it in the comments. Your tip might inspire someone else on their journey too. Warning: deadly habit number 5, social withdrawal. Let's talk about something that isn't often seen, but it's deeply felt. Social withdrawal. You may think being alone more often is just part of aging. But the truth? Loneliness can be deadly. Research shows that chronic social isolation raises your risk of death just as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yes, you heard that right. Loneliness is as dangerous as chain smoking. And it doesn't stop there. Isolation has been linked to weakened immune system, increased risk of heart disease, cognitive decline and dementia, higher rates of depression and anxiety, loss of motivation and faster physical decline. You don't need to live alone to feel lonely. You can be surrounded by people, but still feel unseen, unheard, or disconnected. And the longer that feeling lingers, the harder it becomes to reach out. But you need to hear this. Humans are wired for connection. It doesn't matter if you're 65 or 95. Your brain still lights up when you feel seen, valued, and loved. And no, you don't need a big circle of friends or a full calendar to stay connected. What matters is quality over quantity. Start small. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while, just to say hello. Invite a neighbor for tea or a short walk. Join a local senior group, faith community, or volunteer program. Attend free events at your community center or library. Even talking to a cashier, driver, or walking partner can brighten your day. And don't underestimate online connection either. Many seniors are finding purpose and friendship through online groups, video calls with grandkids, or community chats on social platforms. Let me tell you about Esther, 82. She lost her husband and most of her close friends within 5 years. She felt like her world had gone quiet. But one day, she joined a local storytelling group at her library, just once a week. Now, she says it gave her life a rhythm again. People began asking about her week. She laughed more. She started baking again. Because sometimes all it takes is one small step toward connection to bring your energy, joy, and spark back. If you've been isolating or pulling away, you're not weak, you're human. We all withdraw sometimes. But staying there? That's the real danger. So ask yourself honestly, when was the last time someone truly asked how you're doing? And when was the last time you reached out first? You don't have to do everything. You just have to do something. Because your life is still meaningful. And someone out there needs to hear your voice, today. Speech balloon, now it's your turn. What's one way you stay connected? Or one small step you're willing to take this week to break the silence? Leave it in the comments. You might inspire someone else who's feeling alone to take their first step too. By now, you've heard the 5 habits that quietly steal health and years from so many lives after 60. And maybe you saw yourself in one, or even all of them. Maybe you felt the creeping fatigue, the quiet loneliness, or the frustration of a body that doesn't feel like it used to. But here's what I want you to know. You are not powerless. You are not too old. And you are not too late. You see, real change doesn't come from doing everything at once. It comes from doing one thing, today. One better meal. One small movement. One extra hour of sleep. One phone call. One decision to stop sitting in silence and start living with intention again. I think of Maria, 72. She was tired of feeling tired. Not sick, but not fully alive either. So she chose just one habit to change, standing up and walking for 5 minutes every hour. No gym. No fancy plan. Just consistency. And in a few months, she was sleeping better, eating better, laughing more, and saying, I feel like I woke up from a long nap, and life feels bright again. That kind of shift isn't magic. It's momentum. And momentum is something you can build at any age. So don't focus on what's behind you. Focus on what's in your hands today. Because your golden years? They can still be filled with purpose, energy, and peace. Not just survival. Thriving. Now I'd love to hear from you. Speech balloon, which of these 5 habits hit home the most for you? Or better yet, what's one small change you're going to try this week? Drop it in the comments below. Your story might encourage someone else who's struggling right now. I read every single comment, and this community grows stronger when we share. If you found this helpful, even just one tip, backhand index pointing right, please tap that like button and subscribe to Better Life After Golden Jubilee. Every week, we bring you practical, empowering tips designed to help you stay strong, sharp, and independent, well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Orange Heart, thank you for spending this time with me today. Your health, your joy, and your future matter, and it's never too late to make the next chapter your best yet. See you in the next video.